Hello guys, it's Elena. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a good while since I've talked to you guys face to face like this. Probably, definitely over a year for certain. But welcome back. And today, as mentioned in my community posts, I am doing the bookshelf tour that I have mentioned before. So I did get lots of new books for Christmas. And then I also got a gift card on top of that I was able to buy books with. And I definitely made my way through a large portion of that. I haven't made it through all of them yet, but we're getting there. I'm on my 8th book of the year. It is February 1st. So my goal of 50 books of the year is going great. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, so here is the bookshelf. So I was able to reorganize it, like I had mentioned previously. If you have kept up with my community posts, I did have another shelf on my other bookshelf that's filled mostly with a bunch of other like trinkets and stuff, but I was able to fit it all onto my main shelf here, so that is very good. So, starting up top with my Keeper of the Lost Cities shelf, excuse me. This is my child. This is my baby. People who have been with my channel since the start know this is my pride and joy here. So, we have got books 1 through 5 in this stack here. I was gonna put book 6 up top with it here, but it didn't look right, so we're just keeping it like that. So, and very cool addition that we have. Let me move this little guy out of the way. Hang on, I can't do this one-handed. Hold on, guys. Okay, so here, yes, it looks like a normal book. Yes, my normal illustrated annotated edition of Keeper of Lost Cities that I've had since I was 12. But inside, I got it signed back in September. If you guys also remember, keep up with my community posts. I talk a lot on there more than I used to really post. But I got it signed. I met Shannon Messenger. I'll throw up a picture here now. And I was able to get 3 books signed, but we will get to that. So let me just editing magic. Okay, hopefully that worked. I guess post-editing later we'll see if this gets it figured out. And if not, you will just have a very bad transition. Anyway, I'm new to the vlogging thing. Anywho, so we have books 1 through 5 up here, and then we have books 6 through 8.5 as they're my paperbacks. And then we have 9 and 9.5 as they're my only hardcovers of the group. And another cool thing. So, oh, hang on, hitting my decorations. This one is also signed by Shannon Messenger herself. Anyways, it was great. I was able to get 3 signed, mainly because it was 1 per person. It was me, my mom, and then my friend who had also gone. She had brought, I think, 4 people in her family, so I was able to pawn off the book to her mom. So thank you, Chloe, if you're watching this, for letting me use you as for the book signing. So yay, put that back on the shelf. Now these next editions, I don't usually read graphic novels, but again, at said book signing, I was able to get the graphic novel part 1 for free, and I also got these cool little postcards from whenever Unraveled was being released. I have 2 of them because, again, like I said, me and my mom. So this one's also signed. It doesn't have my name on it like the others because this one was just handed out. They were already signed when we were given them. So yay, that is amazing. I don't really know where to put these. I want to frame them or something. But at the moment, they just go into my, they're just in there like that. Then, as I have read the part 1 since I got that in September, and the part 2 was coming out in December. I ended up asking for it for Christmas, and so we have the part 2. I have not read this one yet. I intend. Oop, camera is blurry. Apologize for the blurry camera. I can't tell if it's being fixed right now. But I do have the part 2 for whenever I do get around to it. I read the part 1 in like 2 hours, so if I'm ever bored for like 2 hours, I'll start reading book 2. I have seen and looked through it, looking at some of the pages, but yay, very excited to get to this. Now getting to the decorations on this shelf, I have 2 of these little blue rubber duckies, so I put one on either side. That could come up a little bit. And I have 2 of these little dogs too. I have a couple of them, but these ones specifically, and I just kind of scattered them about. So I put them on either side, and then we have this cute little cross necklace that my Mima got for me a couple months ago, and I thought it'd be cute to hang it from up here. And then we have my little pink camo little frog that I got from when I was little from my daddy. So that is my Cute for Lost City shelf. Now moving down, we have my fantasy shelf. I think you could call it this. We'll start over here. So this book is called Atlantis Rising. It's by T.A. Barron. And I ended up getting this at the library for $1 because they were trying to clear out some of their inventory, so I was able to get this for $1. I had my eyes on it for a while, wanting to check it out, but I never ended up doing it before it ended up getting sold, so I got that for $1. And the reason why I was so intrigued about this book was because if we settle on over here, I've read this series, which you've probably seen a couple times on my channel before. It's called The Merlin Saga. Technically, it's 3 different book series put together, but the first 5, I do not have the 5th one because I'm lending it out to my friend. Hi again, Chloe. So I don't have the 5th one right now, but once I do, I can just like easily stack it on top, and it should fit, hopefully. But anyway, not the point. So hang on, because I'm not struggling with this one-handed. So here's the book. Ignore the mess behind. Some technical difficulties occurred. Stupid camera won't focus. Okay, so this is the Merlin Saga. It is very good. It's 11 books long, and I read this in 7th grade. I need to do a reread. It is so good. It's about Merlin in his younger years. Very good. Oh, I don't think I explained what Atlantis Rising is about. And Atlantis Rising about this boy named Promi. He is a kleptomaniac who likes to wander the streets. He's a straight rat and goes around stealing. Well, he finds this girl, and come to find out, they are trying. This is the origin story of Atlantis. So very good. I love the fantasy elements like I do from this author. It's the same author, like I've mentioned. And very good. I really like this author's writing style. So Merlin, back to Merlin. It's about Merlin in his younger years, thus the lost years of Merlin, which is the first 5 books. The next 3 books, which is 6 through 8, is about his dragon, which is called The Dragon of Avalon, is the first book. And then the next 3 after that is about his grandson and his journey there, which is the last 3 books. So it's very good, and I highly, highly recommend. Then on to the next book. Let me just fix this. Okay, I have fixed it. That was a pain. Okay, there we go. And now we're moving on. Oh, I forgot the crown. But, that was going to have to get taken off anyway, so put you here. Merlin, you can be a pretty, pretty princess for the moment. Next series is the Princess Academy trilogy. I recently just finished this. I finished the 3rd book right before I started on my next book, which I will get to here in a minute. Oh, it is not focusing. Forgive me, please. Anyway, Princess Academy by Shannon Hale. I like this book. It was cute. I would reread it. And these characters are so sweet. They're my children. Anyway, it's about this girl named Miri, and her mountain, Mount Eskel, gets chosen for the Princess Academy. And basically, in the kingdom, whenever the prince comes of age, I forget who they're called, but a city or territory is chosen for where the future princess is supposed to be from. And so, this is the first time a territory, Mount Eskel, is chosen for the draw. And so all the girls in the village have to go and to the Princess Academy, where they will be trained and then be picked by the prince. And whichever girl the prince chooses becomes the new princess and is to wed to the prince. So, very good. I really liked it. It is zoning out. There we go. Maybe. Okay, forgive me for that. But it was very good, and I do recommend this. It is on the lower end of the rating scale, so probably good for maybe 6th graders or stuff, but still very good. Now to the next book. Now, if you have tuned into my channel within the past, year, you will have heard me yapping about this. And I regret nothing. I have seen this book nowhere. There is no fandom. I am the fandom. If this book has no other fans, I am dead. Okay? If this book has no fans, I am dead. I love this book series so much. But it is about Princess Amarani, and she is the princess to Ardinia. Her father ends up dying, and thus she is left to marry off to one of the other surrounding kingdoms' princes or kings, to be able to take rule of her kingdom, because queens are not allowed to rule a kingdom on their own. Well, she doesn't want to do that and ends up rebelling against it, but in the process, her love, Luca, the stable boy, him, ends up getting taken captive and is used as blackmail. She goes and she has to go and rescue him to save him from the kingdom who had taken him as blackmail. It's very good. It's a trilogy. So many, I can't even explain what books 2 and 3 are about because of spoilers regarding to the first book, but it's very good. I think it's inspired by The Princess Bride, but I have never watched or read it, so I cannot attest to that. But it is so good. So good. Highly, highly recommend. This is my child here. Okay, moving on. And next up, we have the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I have finished the first book in this series, and I really, really liked it, so I ended up asking for the next 2 for Christmas, and I'm currently in the middle of the second book right now, Siege and Storm. About maybe 70 pages in. Very good, but first book at least is about this girl named Alina, and she is a Grisha, and after a whole bunch of things happened, she gets taken to the palace and is forced to hone her sun power ability because she's the sun summoner. Well, the Darkling is there, and he's not all that he seems and takes advantage of these powers of her. Anyway, I can't say much else because I haven't read A, the rest of the series, B, read the series back in September, don't remember all that much, and did I already say A, B, C, whatever we're on. I am not finished with it yet, so I will refrain from saying anything else. Okay, moving on. Okay, moving on, we're to the Skyfall trilogy, which is also by Shannon Messenger, the author of Keeper of Lost Cities. So very good, and it is signed, which is, oh, that is not. The signed page, is that not? Give me a second. There we go. It is signed. So, yay. Very, very exciting. And I liked this book series. I like Shannon's writing style. But, it was interesting. It was interesting to say the least. I didn't hate it. But it's YA, and yeah. It was interesting, alright? But basically about this girl named Audra. She is a wind blah. It's about this girl named Audrey who's a wind sylph, and wind sylphs can control the winds. Well, then there's Westvane Weston, and he finds out that he is also a wind sylph. And a whole bunch of things ensue that I cannot mention because of spoilers. But I think it is considered a fantasy romance, if I remember correctly. But the romance in it was definitely interesting, but let's just say I like So Keith better. So Keith for the win, as always. Anyway, moving on. So now we can get to the decorations on this shelf. We have this, I think it's actually a bookmark, but I'm using it as a magnet to stick onto the middle pole because it looks cute. These poppies are from whenever I went to Washington, D.C. in 7th grade, and we went to the Arlington Cemetery. And so I put these poppies, little fake poppies, around here because I thought it'd be cute. This is a 3D printed dragon I got at a festival about a year back. And I figured I'd put it in front of Merlin because dragons. So, yay. Moving on, we have this crown and this cross. If you remember my old bookshelf setup, the Kingdoms of Sand and Sky series was on its side and had the crown on top of it. And I wasn't able to fit on here like that this time. So I figured, wait a second. Princess Academy. The Kingdoms of Sand and Sky. They both have princesses. So I put the crown on top of both of them at the same time. And then this little cross because I got it from my cousin about a year back for my birthday. And I thought it was cute. So yeah, we're going with it. Then of course one of these little tiny furry dogs. Matching this one up here. Now on to the next shelf. Now onto this next shelf. I don't know what to call this shelf. It's a mixture of fantasy, thriller, dystopian, mystery. It's kind of all over the place. But anyway, starting over here, we have A Curious Kind of Magic. This is one of the ones I got from the gift card. And I have not read it yet. I have not gone around to it. But I'm excited about it. It's supposed to be about this girl who runs this curiosity shop, and with claims to have magic items. They are not, in fact, magic items, and the business is threatening to be shut down. Well, she meets this girl who does have the capability to turn things into magic, and they end up teaming up to save the shop and get rid of the girl's powers because she doesn't want them. I have read from this author before, Mara Rutherford, which is this book, Luminous. I have read this book. I got it for my birthday. It's very good. This girl, what's her name? Leora. She glows. She has power. She's a witch. And witches aren't very welcome in their kingdom. And so she's been hiding her entire life. Well, her best friend, Everin, is there too. And some things happen and he ends up going inside of this tapestry. This magical tapestry. His mother is also a witch. And she has to go and find him and save him and face her powers that she's been so afraid to use her entire life. And because the king, well, he's not king, but he's basically king because he's taken over the king and queen and basically using them to do his bidding. For powers, using them for evil. And it's very, very good, and I do recommend it. And that's why I ended up going with Curious Kind of Magic, because whenever I read the synopsis at first, I was like, ooh, that sounds very interesting. I'm gonna read it. And then I looked up the author, saw it was Mara Rutherford. I was like, why does that feel so familiar? And then I was thinking, wait a second, I read this author before. So that just sealed the deal that I really wanted to read it. So, moving on. Okay, now, moving on. The Outsiders. This hurt me a lot. I cried. I think, would it be considered a coming-of-age story? But, it's very good. And, oh goodness, I cried so hard. So, Ponyboy, he's part of the Gracers, and the Gracers have a hard time in his city. For a whole bunch of things happen, he's on the run with his friend named Johnny, And, oh goodness, it's not even 200 pages, but it hit so hard and it was so good. Definitely recommend. Then, moving on, Connect the Stars. I think this would also be considered a coming of age story. So it's about this group of 4 kids that are at this wilderness camp, and they all have these different things that they're trying to get over in their personal lives. But Audrey, she is able to tell whenever somebody's lying to her, and after a fallout with her best friend, who she thought would never lie to her, she gets really upset, and so her parents send her to this wilderness camp because she likes being in the woods, and hope that would help her calm down. Then we have Aaron. He has an encyclopedia memory, and after a slip up with emotions, because he isn't able to really grasp emotions very well, they send him to this wilderness camp to hopefully help him figure out how to navigate those. Kate, I can't really tell much about Kate because it does get revealed in the story, but she's very sad, so her parents send her to the wilderness camp hoping that she'll get over whatever is making her so upset. And then there's Lewis, who gets very spooked very easily. He has a disorder that makes his emotions like a lot more heightened, and it can even be painful for him. And so this group, so good. I cried. These characters hit a little bit too close to home, if I'm being honest. And tears. Lots of tears, but very, very worth it tears. Highly recommend. Okay, next up we have the Folk of the Air series. I got this for Christmas. I can't really tell you a synopsis of it yet because I haven't really read it. I plan on reading this as soon as I finish Shadow and Bone. But depending on how emotionally destroyed Shadow and Bone leaves me, I might end up reading Curious Kind of Magic before that, but we'll see. But while I cannot tell you a good synopsis, I can tell you a funny story. So obviously, this has been on like BookTube and Bookstagram and whatnot, but where our story here starts with book 3. So before I even knew about it being on BookTube and all that, this book was at my library. And I was reading it, I was like, ooh, the synopsis on the back. I was like, ooh, this sounds really interesting. I want to read this. So obviously, as one does, I look it up to try and figure out, hey, what's this about? And if there's any more books in the series. Turns out there is, and this is the last book in the series. But my library does not have books 1 or 2. They only have book 3. So I ended up asking for the first book for Christmas, and I ended up getting the box set instead, along with the companion book. So yay, I will get to you on this once ever I finish them. But just funny story. And then only after I've researched and all that did I start seeing the cool prints pop up and all that. Probably because my phone is listening to me. But it's fine. Anyway, moving on. Okay, moving on. Don't Turn Around trilogy. Technically, I think it's called the Persephone trilogy. But I don't know. There's no fandom for this book, and I am very mad about it because this is such a good underrated thriller. It's very good. Starts off with our main character, well, one of our main characters, Noah. She wakes up on a operating table after being operated on and experimented on. She doesn't know why she's there, but she escapes. She's actually part of this hacking alliance and is using that hacking alliance to try and figure out what the heck is going on. On the other side of things, we have Peter. And so he was the one who created the hacking alliance. So they end up teaming up and trying to find the people who experimented on her and stop them because they killed a whole bunch of other young adults and all that because they were experimenting to try and fight this disease called Pima, who affects young adults. And it's very good. It's a trilogy, and I very, very recommend it. It's by Michelle Gagnon. I just realized that I haven't been naming the author for all of these. Anyway, let's do that real quick. So, Keeper of the Lost Cities, Shannon Messengers, Atlantis Rising, and Merlin, T.A. Barron. Princess Academy, Shannon Hale, Kingdoms of Sand and Sky, Sarah Henning, Shadow and Bone, Leigh Bardugo, I think it's how it's pronounced, forgive me if it's not. Skyfall series, also Shannon Messenger. Curious Kind of Magic and Luminous, Mara Rutherford, like I mentioned. The Outsiders, S.E. Hinton. Connect the Stars is Marissa de los Santos and David Teague. Cruel Prince is Holly Black. And Don't Turn Around is Michelle Gagnon. Sorry about that. I will try to be better at that in the remainder of the video. Anyway, moving on, we have the Mysterious Benedict Society. This, as you can tell, is a very well-loved cover of the book. And I read this in 6th grade. I need to do a reread. But it's about this group of orphans. They get recruited by the mysterious Mr. Benedict. And they are taken to this island of this boarding school to try and defeat Dr. Curtin and the Whisperer. It's really good. It's a series that has a prequel book of Mr. Benedict when he was young. And it's something I highly, highly recommend. It is by Tristan Lee Stewart. And moving on. Oop, there we go. Technical difficulties. There we go. Next up, we have The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. If you somehow don't know The Hunger Games, this is a dystopian future where children are rounded up from the ages of 12 to 17. Is it 17 or 18? And a boy and a girl from each district gets raped and are forced to fight to the death for the winner. It's very good. I love the action in it, as well as the real world implications of something like this possibly happening. I highly, highly, highly recommend The Hunger Games. So good. Moving on. Okay, so I knocked down like half of my decorations doing that, but there we go. Back to the decorations, we have this cute little fox. Its little tail dangles. I got at the same fair as I got this cute little guy, the dragon. So we have another little dog here, and this guy's supposed to go here, but I had to move it to get to the book. It's from a Kinder Surprise egg, and then one of those McDonald's crock toys. This is Spot. I've had her for a very long time. And this is another one of the little dog toys. Okay, moving on. Okay, on to the next shelf. This is a bit of an everything shelf, too. But, drop you. Okay, this is a bit of an everything shelf. And first off, we're going to start off with Lost in the Neverwoods. It is such a good not a series, it's a standalone, excuse me. And it made me cry. It's a twisted Peter Pan story. And, oh, it's so good. It's so good. And I definitely, definitely recommend it. The author is by Aidan Thomas. Not the author is by, the author is Aidan Thomas. Next book is We Hunt the Flame. Now, it's by Hafsha Faisal. Excuse me if I pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry. I have not read this yet, and I know it's been on my TBR for a while. And with gift card, I needed one more book to be able to get my money's worth like I was wanting it to. So I added this on here. It's a duology, I know that. But, I can't give you a very good synopsis on it right now, so moving on. Here we have Percy Jackson. Come on, everyone knows Percy Jackson. But if for some reason you don't, it is by Rick Riordan. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. And Percy Jackson finds out that he is a demigod and a son of Poseidon, and is one of the big three, and is basically destined to destroy the world as you know it. But it's very good, and I highly recommend, especially if you like Greek mythology. Moving on. Okay, I'm not bothering to move it out, but this is the Senior Year Diaries, I think it's called. Books 1 and 2. I have read book 1. I have not done 2 yet. I am going to get to it eventually. I don't know when, but I will. Anyway, then the Percy Jackson Demigod Files. And, of course, the Trials of Apollo, The Hidden Oracle. And I got that for my birthday. Again, thank you, Chloe. And then Headmaster's List. This, very good. I liked it. It's a mystery, and it is about Spencer and these 3 other people. They get in a car crash, and one of them ends up dying, and she ends up going on a mystery to try and figure out why this happened and who's at fault for it. And it's not one of my favorites, but it was good, and I would have seen myself rereading this. The author is Melissa De La Cruz. Next series, it is also a mystery. One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. And I really liked it. It's about these, 5 people go into detention, and only 4 of them come out. And one of them dies from a allergic reaction. They're trying to figure out what on earth could have caused their allergic reaction. So they're all questioned. They're all lying. Well, one of us is lying, but they all have secrets that they're keeping from each other and hindering the process of the investigation. And funny enough, that the blackmail that the guy who died, which would be, forgot his name, Simon. Simon. He had blackmail on all 4 of the other people in the room with him when he died. So they all think that one of them was the one who killed him, or potentially all of them, because of said blackmail. It's a trilogy. It's very good and definitely recommend. We're going into the Infernal Devices trilogy. This was very good. It's by Cassandra Clare. It's about Tessa, and she ends up sailing across the ocean to find her brother in England. This is set in the 1800s, but it is fantasy. And she meets the Shadow Hunters, and they're trying to figure out what on earth happened to her brother, what's going on, and while this whole conspiracy is being wrapped around them. Very good. I have read the first 2 books of the Mortal Instruments series, but I didn't really like it. I have books 3 and 4 too, but I don't intend on reading it or finishing it or keeping it on my shelf. So it's not there. But I did like the Infernal Devices. So, excuse me. Okay, now, moving on to my bottom shelf. Okay, so Ice Story. I guess we're going to do this in rapid fire succession. Ice Story, had to read it for school. Age of Light by Winter Schommer. Is that? I had gotten this as a Christmas present a couple years back. I don't find the genre interesting, and I probably won't read it. House in the Woods and Anne Cleves. I got this for Christmas last year from my brother. I did read them. This, I did not like this, but this was okay. It was fine. It wasn't anything special. Then the Iliad and the Odyssey by Homer. I got those for Christmas this year. I really, really liked them. And those were actually the first 2 reads of the year. This is King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. I had gotten like 50 pages into it. And never finished it. I will, eventually. Don't know when. School for Good and Evil. I got this from my brother for my birthday a couple years back. It was okay. I liked it. I was not really content. I was content in not finishing the series. If I get bored enough, maybe I'll finish it if they have it at the library, but not something I'm actively seeking out. Next, all of these are books I was forced to read for school. Now, a couple of them I might try to reread, like Island of Blue Dolphins and A Wrinkle in Time, because those seem like ones that I would genuinely like if I wasn't forced to do it for school. Then we have Harry Potter. Not much of a comment, because I kind of skim read through these, because I had to finish that before I was able to read The Hunger Games, because I got this as a gift as a box set, and I didn't really want to read Harry Potter all that much, but I did. It was okay. One day I might try to reread it to see if I like it better if I'm not being forced to read it for reading something that I really want to read. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, guys, that's all. I hope you liked this video, and I hope to see you in next time. Bye!